Making time for yourself. In my last podcast, I was talking about towards the very end how making time for yourself is a whole different topic and something that's extremely important, not just for your mental health, but also for your personal relationships and the others around you and your general focus. You know what I mean? Like if you're always focusing on everybody else, you're not going to be anywhere near as good compared to if you're happy first. And I think that's really important because on the last episode I was talking about how in life you need to be purposeful. You need to have a mission in life. If you're a white belt, you keep working every single day, and as long as you keep working every day, at some point you'll be a black belt. For me, it's being a professional stand-up comedian and having that purpose, having that mission on my way to doing it. And even once reaching there, I'm going to have new goals once I'm there, right? Um, and not getting into the last episode too much, but my point is that do you ever feel like you don't have any time to do what you need for your personal life, let alone for your relationships or something like that? I feel like the best way to be a good friend or a good husband or just anything in general that has to do with your personal relationships, right, is to work on yourself first because nobody's gonna want to hang out with somebody that's not happy for themselves, right? You got to have self maintenance. You got to care about yourself. You got to take care of yourself first because you really are the most important. Every single myself is the most important. You're the most important. You got to take care of yourself first before you start to be with others because if you're happy, you're going to if somebody is not doing well, hypothetically, right? Because you're happy, you're in a place you could uh, make them better. Maybe happy isn't the best word, right? But if you're in a place to where you're psychologically good, right? And your buddy is doing good too, well, you both can have a good time. Okay. And it's important to do this because I mean, think about how many minutes if you feel like you don't ever have enough time to do what you need to do. I always say just get up earlier. I'm getting up even 15 minutes earlier than I always do, right? Um, just so that I can stretch because I told myself I don't have enough time in a day to stretch, to meditate more, to do what I want. So I'm making time for myself, and you need to do that. It's not a want, it's a need, okay? And you got to find a way to make that happen. It could be while you're working, it could be while you're driving. Turn off the radio and get some silence. Let your mind unwind, you know? Different things connect when you don't have so much chatter going on in the world, going on in the universe. Again, it could be the street lights buzzing. It could be the radio on, people talking, the cars are honking their horns. You know what I mean? There's so much noise out there in the universe, right? But when you turn it down, or if you turn it off, different things happen. You know, your ideas, your thoughts, everything starts to come together, right? But maybe you don't have that luxury of being able to turn something off. You need to find time to be able to do something for yourself. It could be the gym, it could be stretching, it could be meditating. But self care is the most important care before anyone else. It's got to be you first. It's got to be you first, you know? When you're at a place every single day, even if you're not at 100% peace, if you take a moment to dedicate to yourself, to just take 4 minutes out of your day while you're driving and just listen to the equivalent of one song or more all the way to your destination, right? With with no radio, no music. You're just driving. That's a moment you're taking for yourself. You got to be able to separate yourself even with others around you as well. If you have a moment to go to the gym and all of a sudden you stop going to the gym, you need to find a way to make that happen again. I've made it a goal recently every single morning to just literally stretch. And I feel like by me taking like 10 minutes to stretch, I used to feel like, well, I'm going to be 10 minutes later. You ever have that feeling where you feel like you dedicate your some minutes to yourself, but you're going to be further behind? Make minutes by getting up earlier. It's possible to change your schedule around, right? And maybe you don't have to. But if you don't have those minutes, hours, or whatever, you got to start your morning earlier. Go to bed earlier. I feel like I always say that nothing good production wise happens after 8 o'clock at night. All right. I don't like to try to think of creative ideas. I'd rather go to bed earlier and start up and get up earlier, right? Because I feel like I'm most cognitive. I feel like I can think better earlier in the morning, especially after I've been up like 30 minutes or something like that, compared to later at night. You know, that's why I hate working out at night. But anyway, I just wanted to take a quick minute without speaking in circles and repeating myself about how important self care is, self maintenance, and not just physically, but like psychologically too. Because I know I've felt, I don't like to say overwhelmed, but I feel like I've been losing a lot of my personal uh, moments lately. And I'm trying to restore those and also add to them. And the solution that I have come up with is just getting up earlier, right? And here I am. I'm doing my podcast right now. It's not even 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting things done, you know, and it's important because if you care about something, you need to find a way to do it, but not just that. If you care about others, you need to look to yourself first. If you really want to help others, help yourself first, right? Um, because the only way that you can really be a good friend or a good husband or a good wife, um, or whatever the relationship is for you to be healthy first, physically, psychologically, spiritually, every way you can imagine. I mean, even when it comes to like going to church, um, there was a period where I wasn't like going to church, right? Um, and not 100%, but there, what part of that reason was is because I felt like, oh, if I go to church, then I'm going to be behind on this, I'm going to be behind on that, and that's the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer, you know, because I need that, and I want that more than a need. There's some things that you need to do, but you might not want to do them. That's all as important as doing things you don't might not want to do, but you need to do because it's important, like exercising, like meditating, taking a moment for yourself. But if you want to, you're going to make sure that you do it. It's just added to that need, you know. Sometimes I don't want to do something, but I need to do it to stay on track with my personal life, my personal goals, with things that I'm working on. And that's being that constant professional, being on that mission, right? That mission in life, right? But when I want to, it amplifies that even more. It's like skipping a day in the gym. Don't ever skip a day in the gym. There might be days in the gym, if that's your thing, that you don't want to go, but you need to go so that you have that consistency. And that's part of what being a professional and really being on a mission in life means. It means showing up when you don't feel like showing up and being there, okay? Because after you leave, you're always going to feel better. You're always going to feel better doing something on a day that you didn't really want to do, but you got it accomplished. And in those days that you want to go to the gym, you're thankful that you went the last time, you didn't miss a day, and you're that much better. It's like I've said before, if you're 1% better every single day, in 100 days, you'll be a better version of yourself. You're 100% better. So anyway, I got to hop off, do other things. But I appreciate you listening. If something that I said takes you to that next level, I'm really happy and glad for that. But really hear what I'm saying. Listen, do it, apply it. All right. Take a moment for yourself, make time for yourself, and have a mission. I'm Benja Well Done. Check me out. Peace.